Hello and welcome back to Captain of Industry. So last time we built our wonderful little exhaust scrubber setup. So that has now taken all of the exhaust from the boilers, all of the exhaust from the smelters and the occasional furnace, as well as the exhaust temporarily, he says in quotes, from the cement kilns. The cement kilns, that's what they're called, that's fine. So we are now getting rid of all of our air pollution. It looks something like this, which looks beautiful. So we have gone from having anything up to 250. We dropped down to about 150 for some reason. I don't know what would have caused that. Is that about when we did oil? But why would that have made a difference? Or was it when we swapped over to the new blast furnaces, maybe? Don't know. Maybe. So air pollution has now dropped down to be pretty much equal with all the other pollution, around sort of 60, 70-ish. If we take that out so we can see this better. Spikes of ship pollution when the ships are going out and doing things, that's fine. Vehicle pollution, we can't really do a lot about that. We could swap over to hydrogen, but not getting a lot of hydrogen. So, and obviously we could swap over the priorities to prioritize hydrogen over diesel. But I don't really want to do that, if I'm being honest right now. I just want to leave it. The status quo is fine. Let's not mess with it. Water pollution is the next big one. In terms of water pollution, the only thing we have that is chucking pollution into the water now is these two pipes here spewing out the waste liquid from the settlements. So that's probably the next thing we need to look at down here. Couple of things I want to do beforehand. I want to break the link to all of the, and this is the right one, isn't it? Yeah. To all of these. We're going to rely purely on coal and wood chip power. Wood chips where it's needed, but coal should be sufficient. I think we only need 3 of those running, but we do have the potential to run 6 if we need. And I just want to see if that allows us to start building a store of any of these liquids. Including the fuel gas, which just got delivered there from the other area, which is fine. So let's just see if that does anything. As it stands, no. We're still waiting for everything to be pushed around, waiting for these pipes to fill up. Same with the fuel gas. There's nowhere near as much fuel gas in there. That's because the fuel gas is actively getting turned into diesel, where the hydrogen is just being created every now and then. We could swap the priority over here, so it prioritizes making the hydrogen over the fuel gas, over the diesel, but I don't really want to do that. I mean, we want the diesel being made. There's no output to do it, that's fine. Any excess fuel gas should be chucked down here like it just was, where it'll make some more hydrogen, which will go into the hydrogen loop. Does it? Yes, I was looking at this pipe thinking it stops there, but that's going in the other direction. It goes along the hydrogen loop, which jumps back into here somewhere and gets pushed all around, blah, blah, blah. We know all that. We got these struggling to find a destination they can reach. That is because you have finished doing what I wanted you to do. So now let's get all of this down. There is coal in them there hills as well. So let's get them there hills. There's a little bit of coal over here as well, so I'm just going to tell them to get this as well. And then a little bit up there. We might as well take that one out as well. Let's get all of that. There is a little bit up there still somewhere, so let's get that. There is also some over here, which is going to mess with this pipe, but needs must. The coal must be gathered. And there is more in these hills as well. So it's going to really destroy that pipe. I might have to preemptively... That's all gone to level 1, of course, annoyingly. Let's do that. You got down to -8. You've done that thing where you don't flatten. You go into ramp mode. Winds me up no end. I don't know why it does it sometimes. Alright, that's going to leave them plenty to do. In fact, there is also this over here that I hadn't noticed. So let's also do that, and that, and that. Yeah, that's going to keep them busy for a while. Bearing in mind that situation, let's delete this pipe from here all the way to, let's say, here. Because that is clearly not going to work when we're digging out right underneath it. So let's bring this way up here. Yeah, you can. You just did. There you go. Come on, a little bit at a time. That's all I need. Just a little tiny path around. I have faith in you. You can do it. Let's do that. Let's delete that, and that, and that. And then let's unity that. That should keep the pipe well out of the way, hopefully. Or the little landslide might cause issues still, but that's fine. So I want to do that. There was something else I wanted to do. Was there? I feel like there was. There's something else I thought to myself, oh, we should do that. What was it? What was it? Oh, yes. I was going to just chuck in a... vegetables only. Loop. So it makes the fuel gas. Just to try and process those vegetables a bit faster. It also makes the compost, which we're going to take from here and just whack into there. And let's just get all of that unitied. Just because the vegetables are going into this one, but whenever there's wheat to process, it doesn't process the vegetables. So I just want to try and get it processing the vegetables a little bit faster, make sure we have continual vegetable processing, and see if that stops us from backing up vegetables, because we've got vegetables in probably every farm at the moment, or not that one. But we've got a lot of vegetables hanging around. Not on this, well, that, or down to there we do. Yeah, so we've got a lot of vegetables hanging around. Let's get them out of there. Let's get them in there. See if that solves this issue we have. Is there anything else we need to worry about? I don't think so. We're a little low on housing, so let's get these unpaused. That's going to have to happen sooner rather than later. We are going to have to move all of this wood at some point. In fact, talking about wood, how's our wood storage? We're doing okay for wood storage because we are actually using a fairly monumental amount of wood. Because we built a lot, which meant we need to make a lot of parts, and we're now storing 1,500 construction parts in each, which is obviously a vast amount. They're still going in there because there is a little bit of construction going on, but that's not going to take long to fill up again. In the meantime, we should have almost filled up with concrete blocks again, which probably means they've ran out of stuff to put down. So let's put down a bunch of walkways for them. Let's do like all of that and that. Let's do all of this bit in the middle. And then this little chunk here. And then they go up there as well. Let's just do all of that and all of that, because that's all quite a heavily traveled path. And then up here, so it's not going to be like the neatest at the moment. It's all in sort of little chunks and it's all a little bit all over the place, but I'm not too worried about that. Can I do that and not see that? Is there a way of doing that, I wonder? Let's do a bit more here as well. We may as well have something for them to do with the concrete, should we be getting any. And I built all this here, and then they immediately started going over here instead. I think that's probably because I removed a blueprint somewhere. And this is a very heavily traveled bit as well. Let's just get this done. Why doesn't it want to do that bit? Because it's not flat. Okay, we might want to come and dig that out at some point just for neatness sake. So that's going to start. I mean, we are at some point going to want this entire thing covered in this. But for now, that'll do. For now, that'll do. How are we doing? We are starting to store up hydrogen. And a little bit of heavy oil. There is no reason, really, we should be storing up heavy oil. Because we should be able to process... is waiting for hydrogen. Why would you possibly be waiting for hydrogen? Hydrogen comes in here, prioritizes itself out here. Goes into this balancer, which prioritizes stuff coming in. Goes along here, still full of hydrogen. Where did you go? Goes along here. Goes here. Into a balancer? No, it just splits off because hydrogen gets joined into it from the bottom. Goes along here, along here. Where does it go from? Hello, camera, calm yourself. Oh, it goes over there at that point. And then over here somewhere. Ah, it's because of this. No, this balancer says this is the priority out. So why are you waiting for hydrogen? Because those pipes are the wrong way around. It's that again. Oh my word. This is fuel gas. This is hydrogen. So we haven't been doing any heavy oil processing because they both use hydrogen. So that heavy oil we have in the tanks is just literally all of the heavy oil we've produced. We produced 104 plus what's in the pipes. That doesn't seem right, does it? Although I suppose the fact it's filling up means the pipes are full, and the pipes can probably hold, like we said, several hundred as well. Okay, so now we're producing more naphtha, more fuel gas, as well as more diesel and more fuel gas. That's only gonna help. I can't believe we weren't processing the heavy oil. Oh, you clown, you clown. The hydrogen is filling up. We are gonna have to turn these on at some point, because if we fill up with hydrogen... Is that a problem if we fill up with hydrogen? I guess if we fill it with hydrogen, it's possible we won't be able to process the fuel gas. If we can't process the fuel gas, we won't process the naphtha. If we don't process the naphtha, we won't process the light oil, and etc, etc. So we don't actually want any of these to fill up completely. So let's put alerts for 75% on all of these. Because we do want to know, why is this being filled relatively equally? 74 and 94, but this one is not being filled equally. Because that has a small pipe probably, so stuff that's going in there is sort of prioritized out because of that bigger pipe. Let's upgrade that pipe so they should be equal. Okay. Oh, you're getting diesel. So where are you taking dirt? What possible place could you be taking dirt? So you are now not running because you are full of diesel, but you are running because that isn't running, so there's heavy oil going in there. Okay. We're happy. We're happy. Sulfur is starting to fill this belt. It's getting there. We've got a constant stream of sulfur going around. This is now entirely backed up. I'm just going to let that keep going until we re-enable this. In the meantime, any fertilizer that we're getting is being pumped out once it gets there. This is prioritizing this output. Yes, it's prioritizing sending it back into the system, and until that fills up, it won't start sending it over to the farms, but that's fine. The farms aren't being fertilized. I'm not too worried because we've got too much food, mate. We've got too much food. We're still trying to deal with all of the vegetables coming in. But that's going to get us a bit more fuel gas. It'll get us a bit more compost, which will get us a bit more animal feed to compost. Because that turns the excess corn into animal feed. And then the rest of the compost goes into there with some water to make some fertilizer. Yeah, okay, cool. Cool. What were we going to do? Don't know. Entirely forgotten. Literally entirely forgotten. Let's check researches. Let's go down to the bottom. What have we not done? Housing, corn, soybean, large generators. Housing. Is there a reason we wouldn't upgrade housing? I haven't so far, but is there a reason we wouldn't? Doesn't say anything. The only difference is it says it can provide a monthly unity increase if it is provided with the required housing. What? Services, sorry. Required services. I don't know. I don't know whether housing has any codex? Not the codex. Isn't there like a help thing? Yeah, this. Housing. Is there a search for this? Of course there's not. That'd be crazy. Settlement. Population in unity. Unity. No, it doesn't really tell us about the housing. Don't know. I'm not going to worry about it for now. The other thing we do want to do, though, is send that off to the oil rig. That's what we want to do. The other thing we want to do is upgrade the ship. I am going to tell this to go now. It is going to cost a lot of steel, a lot of mechanical parts, and a lot of electronics. We have 240 steel, but that's because that's all we have available in storage. We will be able to get more. Electronics, we have 200-ish. Mechanical parts we don't have here, but I think we'll be fine. We could probably do with upgrading this storage. So we're going to do that. We're going to do the steel as well. And we're going to do the electronics. Which is all going to take electronics to upgrade, but I think that's a worthwhile upgrade. We are, yep, you low supply mechanical parts. That's because you suddenly have a lot more space to do it. That's fine. What is your alert set to? Less than 50. Yeah, that's fine. You'll fill up soon. Don't worry. So we'll now be producing more steel. That is a Mark II belt. Just wondering if we needed to upgrade that. That's fine. That ship will get upgraded soon. I'm very happy about the upgrade to the ship. That means the ship can actually go out and explore some stuff, which it hasn't done for an absolute age. What is it you're repairing? Is it this? No. What are you? Where are you? Wherefore art thou going? Wherefore art thou going? Because the blue ones that need to be visited. Is it in yellow just because I've told it to go and do it? Don't know. Anyway, we can go out and explore some more stuff, including this pirate who we must have come up against. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, we must have come up against him and lost the battle. But we're going to have upgraded guns and stuff, so we'll absolutely destroy him. So what do we get to? Housing, ship bridge, pipes. Oh, we've done pipes 3. Let's get rid of that. Thermal desalination, chlorine we're going to come to, rotary kiln gas we're going to come to, and then it's wastewater treatment. Ship engine we can get rid of, ship bridge we can get rid of. We have a high supply of hydrogen, okay. Yeah, exhaust filtration we can get rid of. The recycling edict I'm going to get rid of. Settlement recycling, we should probably do that and belt the recyclables in. It's just a nice little thing that will also reduce the waste we're producing, which means we won't be burning as much, which will just be nicer overall. So let's do that and have a little look at waste production. So we are... Yeah, we've got a lot of hydrogen now, which is good. That's what we want to see. But we don't want it to be full. I guess I could have just paused this pipe, but... Let's re-enable that. We're not really seeing a lot of anything else coming in, which I'd like to be seeing. Particularly the naphtha. I suppose we do have the naphtha processing though is the thing. If we want to keep naphtha, because we do have this, could definitely do with some naphtha. Maybe I should put a belt. I need to sneeze. No, it's gone. It's okay. Because the naphtha doesn't seem to be filling up, because we're always needing more fuel gas, and we're always needing more fuel gas because we're always making more hydrogen, and we're always going to be making more hydrogen because it's always going to be sent into the boilers. Do I want to break that again? I'm going to. Until the hydrogen's actually full, I'm going to break that again. And then, because over here we're burning diesel to make the sulfur. We would rather be burning the naphtha. We are making 48 naphtha. This process is 48 naphtha. I was kind of hoping that all of the other resources would fill up, so it wouldn't be using all of it. I guess the other option would be to say that we pause one of those and one of those. So we're using less naphtha and less fuel gas. I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, I guess if we're using diesel at the moment to make the rubber, it's not the end of the world. That makes 36 diesel, that makes 24. So we actually make more diesel out of 60 oil than we do naphtha. And we don't get naphtha from anywhere else, I don't think, do we? The heavy oil probably makes naphtha as well, actually. Yeah, we have heavy oil making naphtha. I don't know. I don't know. It's probably fine. It's probably fine. And let the hydrogen fill up, because I'm hoping if the hydrogens fill up, it'll start actually making some of these other materials. The problem being, if the hydrogens fill up, nothing's going to run. So what do we do then? I don't know. I don't know. Right, recycling. Recycling is probably this thing here. Yeah, let's get that built. That's a relatively easy one for us to do. The recycling plant is up here. There is a belt. Nope, there's a belt there, taking the recyclables in, so that's where we need to aim for. So if we come onto the water pipe, because there's nothing there, so if we come up there at a height 4 and then go along there at a height 2. Let's try that. So we're going to come here, we're going to come up to a height 4 straight away. We are going to find where we can get to nicely, which is there. That's not too shabby and is under the water pipe. We're going to come over to here, and then we're going to go down to a height 2 and find exactly where we can fit. And then we are going to come all the way along here, and then we're going to stop and think for a minute, because if we come in at height 2, we're going to have trucks struggling, I think, aren't we? So let's come to here, go to a height 5. And then, where are we going? Over there. Come next to this one, I guess. I said next to it. Thank you. We're going to come back to that little problem in a moment. What was that? We have a high supply. Oh. Something didn't have output for a low steam turbine. They output 24 depleted steam. This processes 24 depleted steam, so it shouldn't be having any problems. And these ones aren't running because we just don't need the extra power, which is fine. Because they're on auto balance and we've got enough power stored up in the old flywheels. That's okay. I do need to fix all these pipes at some point, but you know, one thing at a time. How are we doing over here? We've got most of them. We're just waiting on the steel plates. I was going to say that probably means we've had a bit of a hit to our electronics and mechanical parts, but we haven't. I probably do want to get mechanical parts on this list, though. It's just going to be where it tells me they are there already. No, they're not. Okay. Pin. I do want to be able to see mechanical parts. Construction parts should be up with construction parts. I'm going to put that next to the copper. I'm going to put that next to the iron, which is going to go next to the steel. And then we probably don't need potatoes there anymore. Let's get potatoes off of the list. Probably don't need rock anymore. That was put there for some reason beforehand. Rubber is handy to keep an eye on. Coal is definitely handy to keep an eye on. Wood's handy to keep an eye on. Cement, we don't really care about. Cement, no. Cool. Let's just tidy that up a bit, makes it a bit more readable. So we've got recyclables, which should be making their way along here. Or has it not made any recyclables yet? I guess it hasn't made any recyclables yet, but they are there. I don't want trucks to pick up from there. Let's just use the belt. That's what belts are for. Otherwise, you're just wasting everyone's time. It looks like we have processed quite a lot of the vegetables. We've still got vegetables getting stuck up here, but there are no more stuck here now. So it looks like we are... Oh, hold on. Hold your horses, ladies and gentlemen. We have power problems. Now, is that just because all of these haven't quite kicked in? I think that might be. We are going over... Yeah, we are very, very close to our power limit. And that's because we've just used a bunch of stuff, so we suddenly have all of the forges running to make more steel and make more electronical parts and make more mechanical parts. So that's why that's peaking a bit. Plus we've just built something new here. What did we just see that wasn't working? Oh, it was this. Yeah, plus we've also got this, which is new. Yeah. And obviously, all of this as well. How are we doing with hydrogen? We are entirely filled with hydrogen. And if that's entirely filled, it means the pipe is entirely filled. So if we come along to here, we should see that this is still able to make hydrogen. So we're not quite entirely filled yet. They are still capable of producing more hydrogen. So some of their pipes are still waiting to be filled. So I'm going to just give that another moment until that is entirely done. We are now at the point where we should start thinking, maybe we do want to turn this into additional power. Because, yeah. Scary when you run out of power. Scary when you run out... Oh, I've got some tea left. Hold on a second. That's what the problem is. These are not able to output the water, even though that's a priority in. So it is definitely, I mean, how much do these make? 12. So the pipe should be absolutely capable of handling it. Now this is a priority into here, which gets joined with this one, which then goes into this one. So maybe we will, and this is a 200, although it doesn't need to be a 200. So that one then joins with this one, which is the water that comes out of there. So I think what we'll do is we will break that. No, copy the pipe, please. No, you absolute clown. And send that into there. That is a priority. The water from there is a priority. The water from there is also a priority. The only thing which isn't a priority is the water that comes out of the pumps, which makes sense. But maybe we need like a dual stage priority for this then. Or we just need to be able using more water, I suppose. That's the other thing. We have too much water, quite simply. We've got enough water coming in from all the sources that this is full, which is obvious because these are connected to it. And if they're connected to the system, of course, those tanks are going to be full all the time, which is fine. So what do we do about that? Because we don't want to be in a position where steam cannot output water. Like that. So what we could do is something stupid. Let's do something stupid. Let's put a balancer. What are we going to do here? We want a balancer there. We want to... We don't really need 4 of these. So we're going to have that output into there. We're going to have this. Not what I need you to do. Input into here. So all the water sources come into the bottom balancer. They are prioritized to make sure the water coming from the factory or from the refinery or wherever is prioritized. We have no power. They're filled with depleted steam because that's filled with water, but that's, yeah, we're working on it. The short-term solution is not to upgrade it because we can't, because it collides with the pipe. And same with that one. Oh no, that one can be upgraded. So the short-term solution is to upgrade that, and then to, I'm assuming it's that pipe, but if we were going to put storage, fluid storage 2 there. Yeah, that one collides with that part. Oh, it's because it's a lower height. So let's move this pipe. just Unity putting some of the concrete down. So that should be out of the way. So now we can upgrade that one as well. So short-term solution, upgrade the storages so they can hold more storage. So that's going to get more water in, and it should be prioritizing the stuff from these, so that should now be fine. The other option is then to say, let's take yet another pipe at Mark 2, if you don't mind, out of this top balancer. We are going to run this pipe at height 5. Yeah, do you know if you can fit? Let's turn that off. I'd probably rather you were on the outside. So let's run you there. We are then going to run you straight across there. Then we're going to look and see that that's all been flattened, which it has. We're going to run you over here. And we're going to plug you into there, and we're going to build that. Do we want to put priority on that as well? Because maybe we want to do something like, yeah, what we'll do is we'll prioritize those. So it will always try to fill these tanks with the water that's coming in. If it cannot prioritize those, so if it cannot fill the tanks anymore because the tanks are full, it will then send the water along this pipe to join into this. These pipes are going to be relatively full. So I might, if this happens again, want to put a balancer in here to say prioritize water coming from there. The only reason I don't really want to do that is because it's then going to be constantly sending water from these into that pipe. So maybe I need to take those out of the equation somehow. I don't really know how, but somehow. We would have to have like another balancer, I think. So I think we'd have to have a balancer with just the secondary inputs going into it, connected to that balancer down there with this, and this new balancer would say try to feed into this system. If you can't feed into that system, feed this new pipe. I think that's what it would do. Because right now we're going to have those feed in. Oh yeah, no, I don't like that. Do you know what? It doesn't matter. We're taking a lot of time with that. We know what that is. This doesn't have a lot of acid, but acid's on its way. That's fine. Can we see any recyclables on that belt? No, that belt isn't moving. Are we making recyclables? Like, we put 12 people in there to work, but I don't know you're really doing anything. It's slightly concerning. Vegetable belt is cleared? No, it is not cleared. But we're working on it. In the meantime, we're making more fuel gas, we're making more fertilizers. That's not the end of the world. So let's just have a little think about what we might want to do down here. So what do we have for this? We have the water facility. Do I want to move the water facility? I think I probably would as part of this. So we'd have the water facility there. We also have waste collection because we'd want to get rid of our waste, and we probably want to do biomass as well. We also have a clinic, but we need to provide it with medical supplies. Yeah, okay. It's like, ooh, clinic, we can do stuff. No, we can't. So we are going to put water into here. So we probably want to put like a buffer water tank. If there's nothing else, just as a reminder that we need to have some water here. And that's going to have water. It's going to output waste. What do we do with the wastewater? We can put the wastewater with either sand or filtration into a water treatment. It can handle 160. We are currently making 67. So we probably need... I've been doing everything in 4s. Do we need 4s? I don't know. Ship modifications complete. Hold your hunky horses. Look at this little beast now. Oh, you look good. You look good. Not enough crew. Load the crew. Takes up a lot of people. Can I see somewhere? Yeah, I now have a score of 430. Oh, that's good. That's good. Why is there a little eye there? Increases the speed and range of the ship, provides advanced radar capabilities. So what I think the radar does is when I travel to here, it'll be able to look one step ahead and tell me what those are before I go there. This was 170. Let's go and absolutely pulverize them into the ground. How dare you consider existing in the same plane of existence as me? Be gone with you, I say. Right. We have 5 vegetables, high storage of fuel gas. High storage of fuel gas. Oh, that's a different thing entirely. Now, that could be because we're making so much fuel gas. Oh, we're not making so much. We're making more fuel gas here now. In fact, that is already half full. That the fuel gas here has even managed to fill up. So if we go and have a little look at our services here. So this is saying it has no room for hydrogen. That's saying it has no room for diesel. That one does. This is not saying it's filled with fuel gas. It is saying it doesn't have enough naphtha. Sulfur is definitely starting to saturate this belt now. That's amazing, which means soon, at some point, we will see these actually starting to fill up with sulfur. Right now, we're not. But soon, my pretties, soon. Yeah, so I'm going to leave that again just for a minute. I know this can't make hydrogen. But this is still making diesel, so we're still using a little bit. But we're not going to be able to make any more fuel gas soon. But right now we are. That is going to cause a problem at some point. But I think as long as these are basically running, I'm quite happy. You're saying you don't have enough heavy oil. Because the heavy oil has definitely stopped filling up. I think that was just that pipe maybe causing issues there. But it's nice that the fuel gas is filled. I don't know, because this has got a 200 pipe with two 260s. So if this pipe were to fill up, it can't actually output fast enough. So I'm gonna press the other button. I'm gonna upgrade those pipes. Same here. They're already done, they're already done. And that's already done. Yeah, I think that just makes more sense. You're already 2s. You're 1s. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. I think that makes more sense. This little fuel depot was getting quite plugged in by the pipe work over here now, isn't it? It was so neat over here at one point, and now look at it. So the ship was in combat. It destroyed it, and it found some loot. That's fine. We are probably now at the point where we can say don't automatically return home, although I can't say that here because I can't do it without the ship. Yes, we won. We absolutely destroyed it. We took basically no damage. Sweet. Power is hovering in the wrong sort of area. We could just also add more normal turbines. Do we get bigger? Oh, we're right there, look. High pressure turbines 2, which take 48 steam. And low pressure turbines 2. The question there is going to be, how do we convert that? I suppose you could just upgrade in place, hopefully. I don't know. So maybe we want to get... No, we started this. I was going to say maybe we want to do plastics and stuff, but let's not. Let's just have a look at this. This is what we're working on. We want wastewater treatment. They are large. Okay. Let's flip that so it has water going out the top. So this is going to go, I don't know, let's say here. Is that in line? Yes. And then let's copy those, flip, and put that there. Sure, why not? They need a recipe. Are we going to do filter media? What did the toxic slurry come from? Gold, that was it. We'll have to worry about that at a later date. Not now. Do we want to do filter media or do we want to do sand? Not manufactured sand, it has to be sand, which I'm not overly keen on. Or we do one of these, which can use manufactured sand, which I am happier about. My word. So that's... no, it's 8. 9. So one of those could run 9 runs of this. So... if we'd looked at the sand one, 24 divided by 9 is definitely less than 8. So it does use a little bit of coal, and obviously the gravel as well. Gravel and manufactured sand. I think gravel turns into manufactured sand, so we could do that with just using rock. I think we're going to use the filter media. I think that's what we're saying. I think that's the conclusion we've come to. Which means we need a filter media, which means we need a mixer for the filter media. So this is going to make filter media from manufactured sand, gravel, and coal. So we need coal storage. Hello, coal. There you are. Which is going to have to be told to be kept a little bit full. This uses... I mean, it uses 20... If we were, let's say we were running all of these... that would be 16, that would be 32 filter media it would need per run. That can make 72. So that's, we only need 1, is what we're saying. That's what we're getting at. Do we even need a mixer 2 then in that case? Wherefore art thou mixers? If this was doing filter media... it makes 36 filter media. Just pin that open for me and open this one. Just pin this one a second. So yeah, 8, 16, definitely 32. So this would make enough per cycle to run all 4. So what is the benefit? This one, they both use 4 people. This one would use less power. And it would use less maintenance, 1.7 to 3.4. But this one would have to run less. Do we... and then the recipe is literally just double, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether it's better to... I suspect it's probably better to run 1 level 1 mixer. If we needed 2 level 1 mixers, that's when it'd be better to use the mixer 2. Even though they use the same amount of people. That uses double the power but would run for half the time. I'm going to stick with the mixer 1. Decision made. Mixer 1. I think that's all we need. So that is going to go about there. So we need gravel. We need manufactured sand. Let's pop one of these down somewhere here. So this needs to make gravel. Do we need 144 gravel? We do not. We need 24 gravel. So do we just want a smaller crusher? Which in terms of gravel makes 24. This uses 24. That's probably what we're going to need for that. So let's just move this a second. This is what we're going to have here. Let's delete that one. Does it output on the low belt? It does. Coal, then it's the manufactured sand. We need 12 manufactured sand. I'm not going to bother looking at the big one. This makes manufactured sand. But we only make 8 manufactured sand. That needs 12. So... plus we need extra gravel. So we're going to need 2 of those, is what we're saying. 2 of those is going to make enough to run 1 of those. So that is going to need 16 gravel. Plus that needs 24. So that is 40 gravel. This only makes 24. So then we would need 2 of those. Now technically, that is the equivalent of 3 of these? No, more than that. I can't even figure out what that would be. 5? 6? No, it's 6, isn't it? That's what it is. It's 6. Yeah, it's not really worth building the big crusher. That has been decided. We want these to obviously be the other way around. However they're going to be. We want the sand up there because that is the primary one. We're going to leave that there. So this makes 48 gravel. This needs 24. They need 8. Okay, that's fine. Let's start thinking about... can that go 1 step closer? 1 step closer to the edge. And you're about to break. Bum, 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 bum. Why? Is it not got snapping on? It does not have snapping on. That makes sense. You are going to come down there. You are going to come there. And we're going to take another belt up to... Aha. Yes, I thought I left a space there. I definitely did not. So let's leave a space there. Whoop. Let's just cut that. Pop that there. Put that there. And then I think these are height 2. It looks like they are. So we'll bring that there. Over to there. Connect that into there. Sweet. So that is all the filter media we're going to need. That is set up for coal. We only need rock. So if we bring... If we bring rock in here... Rock. I'm going to set it up to 60. It needs, yeah, about 60-ish. Have rock in there. So that is the filter media setup. We've got this far. We've done these 2 bits. Next we need chlorine. Where do we get chlorine? We get chlorine from brine. Chlorine is made in 12s. Why are all of these so horrible? We have 4 of these, which is going to be 64. 64 divided by 12 is not going to go. It's going to be like 5 and a bit, isn't it? 5 and a bit. So we need 6 electrolyzers turning brine into chlorine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. You are going to be turning brine into chlorine. You need 6 times 18 seawater. You need 108 seawater. Seawater pump. Well, quite coincidentally, you get 108 seawater. Let's pop you... I don't care about building pipes so much. I want this just as far out of the way as we can go with it being level, basically. You are going to give me seawater into... No, because you need brine. Ah, that's a different thing entirely. Where do we get brine? We can make brine with salt. Or we can use an evaporation pond heated. A basic distiller takes seawater and coal and makes water and brine. Okay, what's the best way of getting brine? We could do... we could do thermal desalination, which would need steam. So then where are we going to get the steam from? Or we do have coal up here. It only needs a little bit of steam. But then we'd need we'd need 3 of them. Because that's going to be 84. So we'd need 3 of those to make enough brine. Still is only 108 seawater, which is fine. It would give us a lot of water, so it'd be water positive, obviously. I don't want to mix salt, because we're getting salt from an evaporation pond from seawater, so it's silly to... Hold on a second. You take in seawater, you turn seawater just into salt. Okay. Fine. What was what are you complaining about? Oh, that blocked one of the ports. I don't care. That's fine. Let's just have a little quick check over here. Hydrogen is full. Diesel is full. Fuel gas is not full. But you don't have enough naphtha coming in. You do have enough naphtha, but the diesel is full. The diesel is full. You don't have enough heavy oil to make more naphtha. And neither of these are filling up. So we filled up with naphtha and hydrogen, but we're just not filling up with the naphtha... fuel gas and hydrogen. But we're not filling up with the fuel gas and hydrogen. I just don't know what to do about that. But everything's still running for the moment, so we're just going to leave it going. Sulfur is so close to being at the point where this belt is full. So close. It's exciting. It's exciting. Where were we? We were looking at brine. What is the best way of getting brine? Do we want to use a basic distiller to use water and coal? Seawater and coal, sorry. We could run one of those off one of the things down there, which would give us... No, we could run one and a bit, couldn't we? Which would give us 48 brine. So if we said we had 2 pumps, that's only given us 24 brine per... No, we could run 2 of those, so it's 48 brine per pump. Whereas this would be a flat 42 brine per pump. Gets us the same amount of water. Doesn't get us the exhaust though. Doesn't use coal directly there. Or do we just use these? I really don't know what the best option is here. I suppose if we use an evaporation pond, we're basically saying it's relatively free. I'm guessing heated ones use water. Use electric, sorry. Yes. So we could just do that, which is fairly low maintenance cost. We'd need... needed 108, didn't we? So we'd need like 5 of them. So that's 24 people. Or we would need 3 of the thermal desalinators, which is 12 people. But then we'd also need the steam. I really don't know what to do. I think what it comes down to is, do we want to lose the water? No, I don't think we do want to lose the water. If we're going to be pumping seawater, we may as well be getting water, chucking it into the system, right? Then it's, do you want to use the basic distiller, which does the coal directly but produces exhaust, or do we just want to use the thermal desalinator? We're going to use the thermal desalinator. Okay, we have decided. It is done. So we need steam. We've already got the seawater. We're then going to get water and brine out of it. So these are going to go... How many of these do we need? Let's say they're going to go down here. How much? We've got 6 of them. 6 18s were 108. Yes. This makes 42. So we're going to need 3 of them, is what we're saying. They take in 108 seawater each, so we need 3 of these. Which means we need 36 steam. If we had built this down here, we could be using the low power steam, but I guess because we're on the edge of power, it's probably not a good idea to do that. Let's turn the beacon on, because we do need more people. Let's go over to the ship and say do not automatically return home, in the hope that you can now explore more things. You found a quartz mine. I didn't even look at what you found. Travel to... I guess there. Oil still seems to be in the same position, so this should still be on about 6,000. Yes, it is, so that's fine. We're not using any of that. Nope. Where were we? Down here. Okay. You needed steam. So if we need steam, we need a boiler. If we were going to do, I think coal, because we've already got coal there. Coal makes 48 steam. You needed 36, yes. So 1 coal boiler is going to be enough to do that. The coal is annoyingly oriented. You are not that, you are coal. One belt of... Excuse me. 1 belt of... Come here, coal belt. Coal is going to go directly into there. We are then going to want a coal boiler, which is going to be producing exhaust. Do we want to pipe that exhaust? That's a question and a half. I suppose we only have to pipe it to... Oh, that's only to there. Or we pipe steam from here all the way. It makes more sense to do it this way, I think. I have made my decision. So we're going to pop this in collision with boiler. Oh, it's because I didn't cut it. There. We're going to pop... Hello. That in there. That's the water input, isn't it? So that's no good. Change your plans. That's going to go there. We are just going to put in a smokestack for the moment, just so it's working. And then the steam, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to come... Where does it have to go? Over here. Yeah, that's fine. Then we'll bring the steam over there. I mean, this is all probably quite temporary, and that doesn't have to be a Mark II pipe. So in fact, we're just going to get rid of it. Steam's going to come over there. We have steam now. Ship is in battle. It does not tell me the enemy's score here. It's got 3 gun 1s. We've got 2 gun 2s. We should be fine. It just dealt no damage. We are destroying it. Excellent. Guess that's the range of the guns, maybe? Right, so we've got steam. We've got seawater, we've got steam, we got water output. We haven't put the water output in yet, but we'll stick that into here. If we're running one of those to start, what water usage do we need? 82 won't be quite enough. So if we put a balancer in, prioritize that water, that should be fine. But we also need water, well, that outputs water. We're gonna have a lot of water. Okay. That gets the brine, that gets us the chlorine. So now we have the waste, we have the filter, we have the chlorine. My word, that was just for the wastewater. Oh, waste itself. Oh, we can burn the waste in a boiler, can't we? Hold on. Hold your chunky horses. Oh, we can, but it only makes 18 and it needs 144, plus it needs fuel gas or hydrogen. How much waste are we making? Oh, you're not going to tell me. Statistics. Is this waste? Yes. We're making about 58 a minute, about 60 a minute, which means that pipe is about to have issues. And these, that should be fine. It should be able to deal with the amount of waste. So we're making about 60 a minute. So if we built an incineration plant, it would only run every 2.5 minutes. Every 2.5 minutes it would make 18 steam. We need 36 steam. But maybe we just do that and balance it so that the steam from this is prioritized. What else are we going to do with the waste? Like, there's literally nothing else you can do with it. You can burn it, or you can burn it. So we can burn it for fun, or we can burn it for steam. We're going to burn it for steam, aren't we? We're going to burn it for steam. So this is going to have to go somewhere. And that will deal with... I mean, let's think about this a second. Let's think about this a second. We're going to have to stop in a minute because it's been over an hour. We're making about 70 waste. These can deal with 160, and I'm planning for 4 of them. So they can already do twice what we have. So I'm planning for our population to be 8 times bigger. That seems excessive. That's like 10,000 people. This can handle 144. We are currently producing, let's say, 60. Yeah, so we would need, if we're going to keep up the same scale, and I'm now doubting whether we should, but we would need 4 of those. Which would deal with the waste for eternity. We then have biomass. Biomass we can burn in a boiler, or we can turn biomass into compost. I don't know how much biomass we're going to use, but I feel like turning it into compost is the best idea. And I feel like chicken tonight. Do we just build a mixer 1 to start with? Because we have no idea how much... So I could build 4 of these, but as soon as you've got 2, you might as well build a mixer 2. So just do I build 2 mixer 2s? But then if we're only generating like 4 biomass to start, bearing in mind we can upgrade the mixers, why not start off small, right? So I think that's everything we need. It's probably overkill again. We're obviously not going to build it all. It's just making sure we have everything in place to do it. What would we need for this? We would need... storage. I mean, I'm all over the shop. We'd need fluid storage. And we would need fuel gas and hydrogen. Keep a little bit full. And hydrogen. Keep a little bit full. We need to be able to then tell trucks to export from these once we come to that, because I suspect they can't at the moment. Oh, they can. And they can, that's fine. Not both of these are full anymore. No, oh, because I only put the alert on one of them. Okay. How are the others doing? They are both absolutely empty and dead in the water, nothing in their pipes. How is this? What are you... Don't. No need to. Don't worry about it. They're trying to deliver the sulfur there is what they're doing. We are so close to having sulfur, but we're never going to. Oh no, we should, because we got 260s going into 160. There should come a point where that one's starting to back up. That one will hopefully soon start to back up. We can see a little bit of sulfur coming in there. That's excellent. This isn't running because we are full of medium oil. This is where we have problems now. This isn't running because we're full of diesel. This isn't running because we don't have any light oil because we're not burning the medium oil. This isn't running because we're full of diesel. This isn't running because it doesn't have enough input and we're not making any more of that. We're full of diesel. We are full of hydrogen, so it's not making that naphtha. Not using that naphtha, which is actually a good thing. If you're full of hydrogen, good, don't process the naphtha. But the fuel gas is full of diesel and it's full of hydrogen. Okay. Well, we're at the point where we have to unpause that pipe. And build that pipe. We have to. We have no choice in the matter. It must be done. Which means it should start burning. It's burning the hydrogen first, probably just because that was the first down there. In fact, it will burn all of them until it fills the pipes with steam. Until the pipes are filled with steam, it's not going to worry about stopping. So it's going to start burning those now. Which is fine. It'll then prioritize the steam coming out of there, then it'll do that steam, and then it'll do the steam from there. And these probably aren't running because they are full of steam, because that steam is not being used because it's constantly generating steam from the coal. Okay. Well, let's see how that goes. Oh, we got a message. We explored a location. We discovered another oil rig. We found Electronics 2 and Electronics 3. And this is the radar in play. We know there is a bauxite quarry there with 2 enemies with a terrible battle score. And there is an enemy there with a bigger battle score. But we don't actually have enough fuel to run over there. I really thought we'd start to have enough fuel to go to multiple locations. Oh well. So that's fine. And then we have the same messages there. They should probably start disappearing. So I think we're already doing the recyclables at the top because that makes more sense. We've got wastewater, waste and biomass. I think that's everything. And then the biomass we're just going to turn into compost. The compost we will send up somewhere. Can we? Yeah, I don't really want them importing water, but I don't mind them importing compost. So that's fine. We'd send it there. I'm going to turn it off for the minute because I don't want them doing anything silly. Unless you don't have any compost there. You do have fuel gas in there though. This is starting to stock up a little bit again, isn't it? So I think that's everything we need. I'm going to say, let me know if you think there's anything I've missed. With the caveat that, do we not have anything outputting from these? We're bringing the water in. We have water, we have brine. The brine just goes into those. I guess we don't. And the chlorine's going to go in there. Yeah, we don't really have anything to dispose of, which is good. That's the whole point of the system. It's going to make a little bit of exhaust, but hey-ho. We could always try and pipe that into our exhaust scrubbing system. So it is now Friday. I don't traditionally have as much time over the weekends to sit and do stuff. So I tend to be doing more stuff in the evenings. If I have a chance, I will look at getting this all connected up and thinking how this is going to work. If not, then maybe we'll do it next time, or maybe we'll start looking at other stuff. What was the other stuff we're going to look at? Oh, the plastics and the electronics. So where have we got to? We've got to the waste, the incineration. We've got greenhouses, which would be nice, but we're doing okay for food, to be honest. Settlement recycling we are doing. We don't really care about the management. That's just like edicts and more vehicles we can build. We now have a limit of 200. Edicts I'm not too fussed about. There's the arc furnace, which is a pain in my behind. And then the plastic and the electronics are the next things for us to worry about. We also have chicken farms, but I really sucked at handling chicken farms beforehand in my previous season. So I'm not really going to try. So plastics and electronics are the next thing. Bit of a cough. Let's just have a look at the arc furnace a second. Or not. Oh wait, we've got oxygen furnace too? Wait, are we using an oxygen furnace too? Oh, I think we are. Okay. Woo! Moment of panic there, I tell you. Where does the arc furnace come in? Oh, it takes the place of the blast furnace. I wasn't expecting that. So, let's just pop a couple of these down a second. So if we were doing molten iron, and pin you a second, and you were going to do molten iron. So it would use graphite instead of coal. Graphite we will be able to make from chlorine. Obviously not in vast quantities, so it's not worth doing this at the moment, and also that takes 2 times power to do that. That, even though it needs chlorine, we will do up by the refinery, because that's going to need, it's going to output sour water, which we may as well output into the refinery system. And then, yeah, later on we get that. When do we get the chemical plant 2 in terms of the research? Where would that be? Chemical plant 2. So it's not too far away. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. We're also up to offices, which are one of the new things in the in update 3. It employs 250 people. Okay, yeah, that's something else for us to worry about another time. Back. So it wouldn't be very long. In fact, no, don't go back. Go back in. So it wouldn't be very long until we got the chemical plant 2. But at the same time, there's an arc furnace 2 there. So why? There's no point in doing the arc furnace until we get the proper graphite recipe. And there's no point doing it because at the same time we can get the arc furnace 2 anyway, which doubles all of the inputs outputs. Because if we just pop back here, yeah, the arc furnace would drop us down to 24 again, so we'd need to double up the furnaces. So yeah, it's just not worth doing the arc furnace. I have decided it is done. We will not be looking at it. Yeah, we've got a little bit of concrete being made. This isn't... Why are you not? Because you don't have enough slag. Slag is a problem for us now, you know. We're just not generating as much slag as we used to. Is that... Because that used to do 30 iron ore and make 12, and now just 48 makes 18. That sounds about the same. Sounds about the same. We don't have like a stock slag belt anywhere, do we? I don't think so. It all seems to be moving. We're just not making very much. That's an output from that, from that, from that. The other thing, if we turn the sulfur into slag, that's the other thing. That's the other option. One we do... Oh, that's if we do toxic slurry. Toxic slurry will give us a lot of slag, but that's a little way away. The exhaust scrubber should be getting us a bit as well. But that's about it, really, isn't it? Yeah, so that sort of tells us that we're not... Even if we get to the point where we have fuel gas and hydrogen definitely permanently available, we can't really go over to this because we're not going to have... This one. We're not going to have the slag to get the crushed slag. And it always uses slag crushed. Oh no, it doesn't. We can just use gravel. Hold your tiny horses. We could use gravel. Not that we have a lot of rock, on the other hand. Not that we have a lot of rock. Not that we have a lot of rock. But we could make a couple of diggers and just go and dig up some rock. Like, just dig all that out. Dig. Straight line, all the way down. That's getting lovely and deep now, isn't it? That's looking wonderful. Or start flattening this. You know, there is rock to be had. The rock goes into here to get turned into gravel. We're currently only making 24 gravel. That would need 1836, 72. So we would need another 3 of those. Which we could build somewhere. We'd have to build them back here for now, really. If we're going to do that, we would build them here. We should be able to get... Okay, stupid, but we can get a rock storage out. And then if we build like 3 of them here, and then belt into... here. Belt into this one. And just let them sort themselves out. We could maybe try to prioritize, but maybe I don't really care too much. Yeah, so there is an option there. Okay, so the slag, although it's a concern and it's holding up our concrete processing, there are ways around it. We have new refugees. We've brought stuff. Hooray. That's fine. We are low on unity again. I wish I told you what changed recently. Like, water's fine, food's fine. Pollution is... One of them's gone. Ship pollution has disappeared for some reason. We have an oil rig. Oh, it's because we turned the beacon on. There it is. There it is. We figured it out. Don't worry, everyone. We figured it out. Cool. I really need to finish anyway. We are rapidly running low on wood. We might want to buy another, or build another... What are you complaining about? Missing input products. Because we don't have paper? Oh, we're making enough paper. It's only 1 paper recipe. It makes 12 every minute. We use 16 every minute. Yeah, we're just not making enough paper. So it's absolutely waste of time running that one, because it's never going to be able to run at full speed. Which means... I suppose we could... Yeah, they make 24 and that use 12 each, so there's no point in pausing one of them, because then... Yeah, okay, that's fine. We'll pause that one. Yeah, fuel gas has been absolutely decimated because it's just been used in the boilers. And as soon as that steam pipe is empty, which it pretty much is, it will start using these, which cannot currently run because they are full of steam. It's this one here. Oh no, this, I was looking at the wrong pipes. That's the fuel gas. There is still some steam in that pipe. As soon as that's done, it's going to start hammering through the hydrogen. What do I do about that? I could... do that. So we're still burning a little bit, but it should give it a chance to stock up. What is this one? That's 3 for the naphtha. And that's 3 for the heavy oil. Let's do that. Let's just pause all of those. So they're always going to be using coal and one of these. But that should give us a chance to actually generate more here. Because I built... That's a good point. Hold on. I've had a realization, people. End of video realization incoming. I built 6 of these because that was based on the amount of hydrogen we could process at any one time would be enough to power 6 of them. I built 3 of them because that is how much we would need to spend to generate steam to run everything. But I'm only running the plant at 1/4 capacity. But I'm running the steam at half capacity. So I'm trying to burn more hydrogen than I will ever produce. Which is obviously a problem. With this, I might pause that one. This is now running at 1/4 of... I'm going to pause the naphtha. I'm going to pause the naphtha as well. And I'm just going to put these pipes back in. And we'll see how that goes. Yeah. That makes sense. That's why we've never had that building up when those boilers have been there and active. Okay. So we want to be in a position... I've got to be able to balance it better. There must be something I can do so I can say... I suppose I could have another hydrogen storage, prioritize that and the other hydrogen storage, so it's always keeping a hydrogen storage full before it goes into the boilers. So we always want to have an additional store of hydrogen before we do the boilers. I can't think of another way of saying... to always try and keep hydrogen in store. Because if that's burning more hydrogen than we're producing, then these are going to empty. If we enable another one, and that's... Sorry, if it's not burning more hydrogen than we're producing, then this is going to fill up and block the system up. So we need to be in a position where we have the option to burn more hydrogen than we're making, but also making sure we're storing hydrogen in the background. So I think we need to put in another hydrogen store, and another fuel gas store, and another naphtha store, and another... It's getting silly. Another heavy oil store. How we're going to pipe that out there, I don't know, but that's a problem for future months. And then connect those to the balancers with equal priority to the output into the system, so we make sure we are filling up a storage. I don't know if that matters for the naphtha. Because we do want excess naphtha, because we want naphtha to be making its way down here at some point. I don't know. I think that makes sense for the fuel gas and the hydrogen, seeing as those are products we want to have available elsewhere. Now, we will be making more fuel gas here now, but we're only making 24-ish, if this is all full. And, well, we are at the moment. We're processing about as much as we can handle. Vegetables looks like we're still not on this side, but certainly on this cluster of 6. We have more vegetables than we can handle. This is backing up. We might even want to consider putting another one of these in just to see if we can. I'm going to put that in there now, actually. Let's put another one of those in and make sure we're actually dealing with all of the vegetables that we can. Let's do that. We need to do this. What did we do today? Pretty much just this and a bit of fiddling around with stuff. Power is getting dangerous. We need to look at power. Lots of things to do. Anyway, I need to finish up. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, all those amazing things. I will see you next time in Captain of Industry. And as always, thank you very much for joining me.